श्रीराम 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 जय राम जय जय राम 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 श्रीराम जय राम श्री जय जय राम श्रीराम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ॐ 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 Jai Shri Ram. A very warm welcome to all of you to today's Maas Paraayan Satsang. It's a very auspicious day, and most of us have seen the coverage of the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in Ayodhya. It was so beautiful, and our thoughts and our prayers are in Ayodhya, at least in our minds and our hearts. We feel as if we are there. And while we are reciting today, it will be so nice if we can envision the murti which we have seen there. Even if we've just seen the photograph on WhatsApp, it's something to keep in our minds as we are reciting. So once again, a very warm welcome to everyone. It's Today is the 16th day of our recital, and we're reciting from Doha 93 to 116 of Ayodhya Kand. I will ask Ramesh Bhai to please recite the Sumiran, and thereafter I will recite, thereafter Ashmir Behan and Ramkissoon. Today it's a short section, so if everybody can please recite one verse at a time, and if need be, we can rotate. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.
जय श्री राम। ओम जो सुमिरत सिद्धि होय, गणनायक करिबर बदना, करहु अनुग्रह सोय, बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण सदना, मोका होहि बाचाल, पंगु चरे गिरिवर गना, जासु कृपा सुदयाल, द्रवौ सकल कलिमल दहना, नील सरोरुषाम, करुणारुण बारिज नयना, करहु सुमम उरधाम, सदा क्षीर सागर शयना, कुंद इंदु समदेया, उमारमन करुणायना, जाहि दीन परनेहा, करो कृपा मर्दन नय मयना, बंदो गुरुपद कंज कृपा सिंधु नारूप
Which one is
हरि
it?
महामोहतम पुंज जासु बचन रवि कर निकरा सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। शरणम शंकर हरिओम। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। भगत भूमि भूसुर सुरभि सुरहित लागी कृपाल करत चरित धरि मनुज तनु सुनत मिटहि जग जाल। मेरी झोपड़ी के भाग आज खुल जाएंगे, राम आएंगे। सखा समुझी अस परिहरि मोहु सिय रघुबीर चरण रत होहु। कहत राम गुण भाभिनु सारा जागे जग मंगल सुखदारा। सकल सोच करि राम नहावा सुचि सुजान बट चीर मंगावा। अनुज सहित सिर जटा बनाई देखी सुमंत्र नयन जल छाई। हृदय दाहु अति बदन मलीना कह कर जोरी बचन अति दीना। नाथ कहेउ अस कोसलनाथा ले रथु जाहु राम के साथा। बनु देखाई सुरसरी अनहवाई आनेहु फेरी बेगी दो भाई। लखनु रामु सिय आनेहु फेरी संशय सकल संकोच निबेरी। मेरी झोपड़ी के भाग आज खुल जाएंगे, राम आएंगे। नृप अस कहे गोसाई जस कहई करो बलि सोई। करी बिनती पायन परेऊ दीन बाल जिमि रोई। चिमन भाई, thereafter Auntie Sushila and Rashmi Behan, please recite one verse everyone, please.
Raghu- Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram तात कृपा करि कीजिए सोई जाते अवत अनाथ न होई। मंत्री ही राम उठाई प्रबोधा तात धर्म मतु तुम सब सोधा। सिपिता दीच हरि चंदन रेसा सहे धर्म हित कोटि कलेसा। राम ति देवा भली भूप सुजाना धर्मो धरयु सही संकट नाना। धर्मु न दूसर सत्य समाना आगम निगम पुराण बखाना। मैं सोई धर्मु सुलभ करि पावा तजति हूँ पुर अपज सुचावा। संभावित कहो अपज सलाहु मरण कोटि सम दारुण दाहु। तुम सन तात बहुत का कहाओ तिय उतरो फिरि बात कुलाहो। रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। पितुपद गहि कही कोटिनति विनय कर बकर झोरी। चिंता कवन हो बात कही तात करिय जनि मोरी। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। शंकर हरि ओम। जय श्री राम।
Markissoon, thereafter Chiman Bhai and Auntie Sushila, please.
Anjani, I am lost. I don't know which chapter I wait. Doha.
95 of Ayodhya Kand.
Okay. Thank you, Anjali. Om Siya Ram, Jai Ram. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Ram. तुम अपने पितु सम अति हित मोरे, विनती करहूँ तात कर जोरे। सब विधि सोई कर्तव्य तुम्हारे, दुख न पावे चितु सुबुच हमारे। सुनि रघुनाथ सचिव संबाद, भयहु सपरिजन सपरिजन विखल निषाद। पुनि कछु लखन कहे कछु बानी, प्रभु बर जे बड़ अनुचित जानी। सुखुचि राम निज सपथ दिवाई, लखन संदेशु कहिया जनि जाई। कहा सुमंत्रा पुनि भूप संदेशु, सही न सकेहि सिय विभिन्न कलेसु। जेहि विधि अवध आवे फिरि सिया, सोई रघुबर ही तुम्हें करनिया। न त्रुत पट अवलंब विहीना, मैं न अज जियब जिमि जल बिनु मीना। मुझके ससुर सकल सुख, जब ही जहाँ मनुमान, तहाँ तब रही सुखे सिया, जब लगी विपत्ति बिहान। श्री सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। शंकर ओम। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। बिनती भूप किन जेहि पाते. Somebody's mic is on. बिनती भूप किन जेहि बाती, आरती प्रीति न सो कही जाति। पितु संदेशु सुनी कृपा निदाना, सियहि दीन सिख कोटि निदाना। सासु ससुर गुर प्रिय परिवारु, पिरहु न सब कर मिटे सबारु। सुनी पति बचन कहति बेदेहि, सुनहु प्राणपति परम सनेहि। प्रभु करुणामय परम विवेकी, तनु जनि रहति चाह किमि छेकी। प्रभा जाई कह बानु बिहाई, कह चंद्रिका चंदु तजि जाई। पति ही प्रेममय विनय सुनाई, कहति सचिव सन गिरा सुहाई। तुम पितु ससुर सरिस हितकारी, उतरु देहु पिरि अनुचित बारी। राम आ गए, राम आ गए, आरती बस सन मुख भयो। बियल गुण बानवतात, आरज सुत पड़ कमल बिनु। बादी जहाँ लगी जात, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। पितु भय भव बिलास में डीटा नृपमणि मुकुट मलित पद पीटा सुख निधान अस पितु गृह मोरे पिय बही विहीन मन भावना भोरे ससुर कवई कौशल राहु भुवन चारि दस प्रगट प्रभाऊ आगे होई जहि सुरपति लेई अरद सिंहासन आसूधो देई ससुर एतादृश अवध निवासु प्रिय परिवारु मातु समसासु बिनु रघुपति पद पदुम परागा मोहि देहु सपन हो सुखद न लागा अगम पंथ बन भूमि पहारा करित के हरि सर सरित अपारा कोल विराट कुरंग बिहंगा मोहि सब सुखद प्राणपति संगा सासु ससुर सन मोरी पुति विनय कर भी परिपाए मोर सोचु जनि करिया कछु मैं बन सुखी सुभाऊ। जय श्री राम।
Jai Shri Ram. I'll ask Auntie Usha to please recite the next verse, and thereafter Kamal Bhai. We stopped at 98. Auntie Usha, Kamal Bhai.
जय श्री राम। प्राणनाथ प्रिय देवर साता भीर धुरी न धरे धनु भाता नहीं मग समु भ्रमु दुख मन मोरे मोहि लगी सोचु करिय जनि भोरे सुनि सुमंत्रु सिय शीतली बानी भयु बिकल जनु फनि मनि हानि नयन सूज नहीं सुनहि न काना कही न सकी कछु अति अकुलाना राम प्रबोधु कीन बहु भांति तदपि होती नहीं शीतली छाती जतन अनेक सात हित कीन्हे उचित उत्तर रघुनंदन दीन्हे मेटि जाई नहीं राम रजाई कठिन कर्म गति कछु न बसाई राम लखन सिय पद सिरुनाई फिरेऊ बनिक जिमि मूर गवाई रतु हाकेऊ हय राम तन हेरी हेरी ही नाही देखी निषाद विषाद बस दुनिये शीस पचिताही सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय श्री राम।
And Auntie Usha.
जय श्री राम। मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी ध्रुवहु सुदशरथ अजिर बिहारी मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी उमा सहित जेहि जपत पुरारी जासु वियोग विकल पशु ऐसे प्रजा मातु पितु जिये जैसे बर बस राम सुमंत्रु पटाहे सुर सरि तीर आपु सब आहे भागी नावन केवट न आना कहि तुम्हार मरमो में जाना चरण कमल रज कहु सब कहि मानुष करनी मूरी कछु अहि छुअत सिला भाए नारी सुहाई पाव पाहनती न कहा कठिनाही तरनहु मुनि घरनी हुई जाही बाँच पराही मोहि नाव उठाई यही प्रतिपालहु सबहु परिवारु नहीं जानो कछ
अवरु कबाहु जो प्रभु पार अवसीगा खाहु मोहि पद पद मुपखारन काहू पद कमल धोई छड़ाई नावन नात उतराई चलू मोहि राम राहुरी आन दशरथ पत सब साजी कह्यो वरु तीर मारहु लगनु पे जब लागी ना पाए पखारी हो तब लगी न तुलसीदास नाथ कृपाल पारु उतारी हो सुन के वट के बेन प्रेम लपेट अठ पटे बिहंसी करुणा ऐसी विचारे जान ही लखन तन सियावर रामचंद्र की जय जय श्री राम।
Jai Shri Ram. Preeta Behen, Auntie Chetu, Akhila, please recite.
जय श्री राम। कृपा सिंधु बोले मुस्काई सोई करो छेहि तब नाव न जाई बेगिया नम जल पाए पखारो होत विलम्बु तार ही पारो जासु नाम सुमिरत एक बारा उतर ही नर भव सिंधु आरा सोई कृपालु के वटहिनी होरा जही जग कियति हूँ पगहु न थोरा पद नक निर्खि देव सरि हर्षि सुनि प्रभु वचन मोहमति कर्षि केवट राम रजाय सुपावा पानी कठवता भरिले आवा अति आनंद उमगी अनुरागा चरण सरोज पखारन लागा परशिष मन सुर सकल सिहाही एहि सम पुण्य पुंज कौनाही पद पखारी जल पान करी आप सहित परिवार पितर पार करे प्रभु ही पुनि मुदित गयो लय पार सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम। उतर ही ताधा पही सुर सरीता सिया राम गोह लखन समीता के बत उतरे दंडावत कीना पर बहि सकोच यही नहीं कछु दीना पिया ही आई कही सिया जल निहारी मानी मुधरी मन मुदित उतारी कहु कृपाल लही उतारी केवत एक करण गाही अखुलाई नाथ आज मई कहा नहा पावा मीति दोष दुख दरि दहा धावा बहुत काल में कीने मजोरी आज दीन विधि बलि बलि भोरी साज सनेहा राम लखितासो संग लीन गुह हृदय हुलासो पुनि गुहा गाती बोले सबले ने करहि परितोष विदित तब कीने। सिया राम जय जय राम। सिया राम जय जय राम। तब गणपति शिव सुमिरि प्रभु, नाहि सुरं सारहि मां। सखा अनुज सिय सहित बनं, गवनहु कीन रघुनाथ सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। शरणम शंकर हरिओम जय जय सिया राम। जय श्री राम।
Jai Shri Ram. Can the next reciter please start from Doha 100, that Chopai after Doha 101, please? Thank you.
जय श्री राम। हे गंगा मैया, हे गंगा मैया, हे गंगा मैया, हे गंगा मैया, पुरलन हमें आहि रे गंगा मैया, पूजना हमें आहि रे गंगा मैया। उछ उचरी तार हे भय सुर सुर रेता, सिया राम गुह समेता, केवत उठरी दंडवत कीना, प्रभु ही सकुच एहि नहीं कछु दीना। पिय हिय की सिय चाननी हारी, मणि मुधरी मन मुदित उठारी, कहे हो कृपाला लेहि उठराई, केवट चरण गए अकुलाही। नाथ आज में काह न पावा, मीठा मिछे दोष दुख तरि दत्तावा। बहुत काला मैं कीन मजूरी, आजु दीन विदित बनी भली भूरी। अब कछु नाचन चाहिए मोरे, दीन दयाल अनुग्रह तोरे। फिरती बारी मोहि जो देवा, सो प्रसाद में सिर धरि लेवा। हे गंगा मैया, हे गंगा मैया, हे गंगा मैया, हे गंगा मैया, पूजन हमें आहि रे गंगा मैया। बहुत कीन प्रभु लखन सिया, नहीं कछु के बतिले। विदा कीन करुणायतन, भगति विमल भर दे सिया। पर रामचंद्र की जय। शरणम शंकर हरिओम जय जय सिया राम। जय श्री राम।
Shamila Behan. Thereafter, Prishi Bhaiya and Bhim Bhai, please.
तब मनुज करि रघुकुल नाता, पूजि प्रीति बनयहु माता। सिय सुर सरहि धरहु कर जोरी, मातु मनोरथ पुर अभिमोरी। पति देवर संग कुशल बहोरी, आहि करो जेहि पूजा तोरी। सुनि सिय बिनय प्रेम रस सानी, भय तब विमल भारि बर भानी। सुन रघुबीर प्रिया बेदेहि, तब प्रभाउ जग विदित नखेहि। लोक अपहुहि बिलोकत तोरे, तोहि सेवहि सब सिद्धि कर जोरे। तुम जो हमहि बड़ी बिनय पुन सुनाई, कृपा कीन मोहि दीन बड़ाई। तरपि देवी में देवी असीसा, सफल हो निहित निज भागीसा। प्राणनाथ देवर सहित कुशल कोसल आई, पूजहि सब मन कामना, सुज सुरहि जग छाई। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। शरणम शंकर हरिओम। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। गंगा पचन सूरि मंगल मूला, मुदित सिया सुरा सरि अनुकूला। तब प्रभु कहु हाहि कहु घर जाहो, सुनित सुख मुख भाउर जाहो। दीन बचन गुआ कहा कर जोरी, विनय सुनाहु रघुकुल मनि मोरी। नाथ सात रही पंतु देखाही, करे दीन चारि चरण सब काही। जाहि बन जाहि राह रघुराही, पारन कुटि में कर बिसुहाही। तब मोहि कहान जासि देबरा जाही, सोहि करहु रघुबीर दोधाही। सहजा सिन्हा राम लखी दासो, संग लीना गुआ हृदय हुलासो। पुनि गुहन जयति बोली सब लीन्ही, कारी परितोषो विधाता बखीनी। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम। तब गणपति शिव सुमिरी प्रभु, नासुररी माता। सखा अनुजस्य सहित, बन गवनु कीना रघुनाथा। श्री रामचंद्र की जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। तेहि दिन भयउ पित पतर बासु, लखन सका सब किन्हा सुपासु। प्रात प्रात कृत करि रघुराई, तीरथ राजु देखे प्रभु जाई। सचिव सत्य सदा प्रिय नारी, माधव सरिस मीठु हितकारी। चारि पदारथ परा अंधारू, पुण्य प्रदेश देश अति चारू। चत्रु अगम अगम करु गार सुहावा, सपने नहीं प्रतिपक्ष न पावा। सेन सकल तीरथ भर बीरा, कलुष अनीक तलन रणधीरा। संगम संगमु सिंहासनु श्रुति सोहा, शत्रु अकयावतु मुनि मनुमोहा। चवर जमुना अरु गंगा तरंगा, देखी हो दुख दरिद बंगा। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। से वही सुकृति साधु सुचि, पावहि सब मन काम। बंदी वेद पुराण गण, कहई विमल गुण ग्राम। जय श्री राम।
Jai Shri Ram. We stopped at Doha 105. I will recite, thereafter Havesan, Auntie Sushila and Preeta Behan. को कहि सकई प्रयाग प्रभावु, कलुष पुंज कुंजर मृगरावु। अस तीरथ पति देखि सुहावा, सुख सागर रघुबर सुख पावा। कहि सिय लखनहि सखहि सुनाई, श्री मुख तीरथ राज बड़ाई। करि प्रणाम देखत बन बागा, कहत महात्म अति अनुरागा। एहि विधि आई बिलो की बेनी, सुमिरत सकल सुमंगल देनी। मुदित नहाई कीन्ही शिव सेवा, पूजी जथा विधि तीरथ देवा। तब प्रभु भरद्वाज पही आये, करत दंडवत मुनि उरलाये। मुनि मन मोदन कछु कही जाई, ब्रह्मानंद राशि जनु पाई। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। दीन्ही असीस मुनीस उर, अति अनंदु अस जानी। लोचन गोचर सुकृत फल, मनहु किए विधि आनी। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। कुशल प्रश्न करियासन दीन्हे, पूजी प्रेम परिपूरन कीन्हे। कंद मूल फल अंकुर नीके, दिए आनि मुनि मनहु अमीके। सिय लखन जन सहित सुहाई, अति रुचि राम मूल फल खाई। भये विगत श्रम राम सुखारे, भरद्वाज मृदु बचन उचारे। आज सुफल तपु तीरथ त्यागु, आज सुफल जप जोग विरागु। सफल सकल शुभ साधन साजु, राम तुम ही अवलोकत आजु। लाभ अवधि सुख अवधि न दूजी, तुमरे दर्श आस सब पूजी। अब करि कृपा देहु बरि एहु, निज पद सरसिज सहस सहज सनेहु। कर्म बचन मन चारि चलु, जब लगी जनु न तुम्हार। तम लगी सुखु सपने हु नहीं, किए कोटि उपचार। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। सुनि मुनि बचन राम सकुचाने, भाव भगति आनंद अघाने। तब रघुबर मुनि सुज सुहावा, कोटि भांति कहीं सब ही सुनावा। सो बड़ सो तब गुण गण गेहु, जेहि मुनीस तुम आदर देहु। मुनि रघुबीर परस्पर नवहि, बचन अगोचर सुख अनुभवहि। यही सुधि पाई प्रयाग निवासी, बटु तापस मुनि सिद्ध उदासु। भरद्वाज आश्रम सब आए, देखन दशरथ सुवन सुहाए। राम प्रणाम कीन सब काहू, मुदित भये लहि लोयन लाहू। देहि असीस परम सुख पाई, फिरे सराहत सुंदरताई। राम कीन विश्राम निसी, प्रात प्रयाग नहाई। चले सहित सिय लखन जन, मुदित मुनि ही सिरुनाई। जय श्री राम।
राम सखेन कहौ मुनि पाही, नाथ कहैया हम कही मग चाही। मुनि मन बिहसि राम सन कहई, सुगम सकल मग तुम कहो आहरी। तात लागी शिष्य बुलाए, सुनि मन मुदित 50 आए। तब राम पर प्रेम अपारा, सकल कहि मग दीख हमारा। मुनिवरु चारि संग तब दीन्हे, जिन बहु जन्म सुकृत सब कीन्हे करि परिणाम ऋषियाय सुताई प्रमुदित हृदय चले रघुराई ग्राम निकट जब निकसहि जाई देखी डर सुनारी नर ढाई होई सनात जन्म फल पाई फिर ही दुखित मन संग पठाई विदा के व्रत विनय करी फिरे पाए मन काम उतर नहाए जमुन जल जो शरीर सम श्याम यवर रामचंद्र की जय जय श्री राम
Jai Shri Ram. We stopped at Doha 109. I will ask Auntie Usha, Akila, and Chiman Bhai to please recite.
जय श्री राम। सुनत बीर सुनत तीरवासी नर नारी धाये निज निज काज बिसारी लखन राम सिय सुंदर ताहि देखी करहि निज भाग्य बढ़ाहि अति लालसा बसहि मन माहि नाहु गावहु भूजत सकुचाहि जेतिन महु भय बीरत सयानी तिन करि जुगति राम पहचाने सकल कथा तिन सब ही सुनाई बिनहि चलहि पितु आयु सिपाही सुनु सब सुनु सबिषाद सकल पछिताहि रानी राहे कीने भल नाही तेहि अवसर एक तापसु आवा तेज पुंज लघु बसिए से सुहावा कवि अलकित गति भेषु बिरागी मन क्रम वचन राम अनुरागी सजल नयन तन पुलकी निज इष्ट देहु पहचानी परहु दंड जिमि धरनी तल दसान जाहि बखानी सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। राम से प्रेम पुलहि उरलावा परम राम का जनु पार सुपावा मनहु प्रेम परमारथ दो मिलत धरि तन कह सब को बहुरी लखन पायन सोई लागा लेन उठाई उमगी अनुरागा पुनि सिया चरण धरि सीसा जननी जानी सिसुदी न असीस कीन निषाद दन तवत तेहि मिलयु मुदित लखी राम स्नेहि पियत नयन पुत रूप पीयूष मुदित सुवासन पाई जिमि भोगा देवी तुमातु कहा हो सखी कैसे जिन पताये बनवा लख ऐसे राम लखन सिय रूप निहारी होहि स्नेह बिकल नर नारी तब रघुवीर अनेक विधि सकहि सिखावन दीन राम राज यसु शीस धरी भवन गवन तहि कीना। जय श्री राम।
पुनीसिय राम लखन कर जोरी जमुनहि कीन प्रणाम बहोरी चले ससिय मुदित डोबाई रवि तन्नु जाकै करत बड़ाई पथिक अनेक मिलहि मग जाता कहि सप्रेम देखी दो ब्राता राज लखन सब अंग तुम्हारे देखी सोचु अति हृदय हमारे मार्ग चलहु पयो दे पाई ज्योतिषु बुक्त हमारे बाई अगम पंतु गिरि कानन बारी तेहि मह साथ नारी सुकुमारी, करिगे हरि बन जाई न जोई, हम संग चलहि जो आयसु होई, जाब जहाँ लगी तह पहुँचाई, फिर कहोरी तुम्हें सिरुनाई। यही विधि पूछो प्रेम बस, पुलक गात जलु नहीं, कृपा सिंधु फेरहि तिन्हि, कही विनीत मृदुबेन सियावर, रामचंद्र की जय। शंकर हरि ओम। जय जय सिया राम।
Jai Shri Ram. I'll ask Havesan, thereafter Bhimthai, to please recite.
जय श्री राम। जयपुर गाव बसहि मग माही, तिनहि नाग सुर नगर सिहाही, केहि सुकृति केहि घरि बसाई, धन्य पुण्यमय परम सुहाई, जह जह राम चरण चली जाहि, तिन समान अमरावत नाही, पुण्य पुंज मग निकट निवासी, तिनहि सराहहि सुरपुरबासी, जे भरि नयन बिलो कहि रामहि, सीता लखन सहित घन श्यामहि, जे सर सरित राम अवगाहहि, तिनहि देव सर सरित सराहहि, जेहि तरु तर प्रभु बैठहि जाई, करहि कलपटरु तासु बराई, परसि राम पद पद्म परागा, मानति भूमि भूरि निज भागा, चाह करहि घन विभूत गण, बरसहि सुमन सिहाही, देखत गिरिबन बिहग मृग, रामु चले मग जाही। जय श्री राम।
जय श्री राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, सीता लखन सहित रघुराई, गावनी कट जब निक सही जाई, सुनि सब बाल वृद्ध नर नारी, चलहि तुरत प्रिय काजु विसारी, राम लखन सिय रूप निहारी, पाई पाई नयन पलु होई सुखारी, सजल विलोचन पुलक शरीरा, सब भय मगन देखी डूबीरा, वरनी न जाई तसा तिन्हा केरी, लही जानु रंकन सुरमणि देरी, एक न एक बोली सिख देहि, लोचन लाहुले चन एहि, राम ही देखी एक अनुरागे, चितवत चले जाई संग लागे, एक नयन मग चबुर आनी, होई इसी तिल तन मन भर पानी, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, एक देखी बत चाह बलि, तासी मृदुल तृण पात, कही कवाइया चिनुकु समु कवन अबही की प्रात, स्यावर रामचंद्र की जय, शरणम शंकर हरि ओम। जय श्री राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम,
राम जय जय राम। एक कलश भरी आनहि पानी, अंचय नाथ कहहि मृदु बानी। सुनि प्रिय बचन प्रीति अति देखी, राम कृपाल सुशील बिसेखी। जानी श्रमित सिय मन माही, करिक बिलंबु कीन्ह बट छाई। मुदित नारी नर देखहि शोभा, रूप अनूप नयन मनुलोभा। एकटक सब सोचहि चहु ओरा, रामचंद्र मुख चंद चकोरा। तरुण तमाल बरन तनु सोहा, देखत कोटि मदन मनु मोहा। दामिनी बरन लखन सुठिनी के, नख सिख सुभग भावते जी के। मुनि पट कटिन कसे तू नीरा, सोहहि कर कमल निधनु तीरा। श्री राम जय जय राम। जटा मुकुट सीसनि सुभग, पुरभुज नयन बिसाल। सरद परब बिधु बदन बर, लसत स्वेद कन जाल। बरनि न जाई मनोहर जोरी, शोभा बहुत थोरी मति मोरी। राम लखन सिय सुंदर ताई, सब चित वही चित मन मति लाई। थके नारी नर प्रेम पियासे, मनहु मृगी मृग देखी दियासे। सिय समीप ग्राम तिय जाहि, पूछत अति स्नेह सकुचाहि। बार बार सब लागहि पाए, कहहि बचन मृदु सरल सुभाए। राजकुमारी बिनय हम करहि, तिय सुभाय कछु पूछत डरहि। स्वामिनी अभिनय क्षम भी हमारी, बिलगुन मान बजानि गवारी। राजकुंवर दो सहज सलोने, इन्ह तेलहि दुति मरकत सोने। श्री राम जय राम। श्री राम जय राम। श्याम गोल किशोर बर, सुंदर सुषमाएन। सरद सरबरी नाथ मुखु, सरद सरोरुहनेन। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, शंकर हरि ओम।
Jai Shri Ram. Thank you everyone for joining in the satsang and especially in the beautiful recitation. And it's a very beautiful section, as well, we're always saying it's a beautiful section. The entire Ramcharitmanas is beautiful. The story of Sri Ram is beautiful. So it's wonderful. Sorry about that. There was some confusion in the background. But once again, thank you everyone. It's just been a very beautiful Maas Parayan, and we've all been thoroughly enjoying it. And as I was saying, it's a very significant day for us because of the Mandir in Ayodhya. But first things first, I'll ask Kamal Bhai to please give the explanation for today. And can I request Havesan to please recite Ayodhya Vasi Ram, to sing Ayodhya Vasi Ram after Kamal Bhai finishes his explanation. And I just hope I'm online. I hope so I don't get disconnected. But thank you everyone. Without much ado, I'll call Kamal Bhai to the mic. As I always say, we always love listening to him. Kamal Bhai, please go ahead. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Sri Ram. We see in Doha 93, Lakshman told King Nishad Guha that it is only for the sake of bhaktas, which is the devotees of this planet Earth, which comes under stress on account of demon activities, and of the Brahmins who are perturbed by the demons pursuing their devotional activities, and the family of cows, which also comes under threat from demons, and also the gods who can't carry out their functions as they represent the Supreme Lord, and they get weakened by obstruction of the yagnas, which give them the strength. So the Lord comes as an avatar in the human form and performs leelas and demonstrates righteous behavior, listening to which uh, frees one from the bondage and false attachment. All that gets removed. So Lakshman further advised his friend Nishad Guha that to simply engage in serving the feet of Sri Ram with attention. And in this manner, they kept talking of the virtues of Sri Ram till the morning. So it is believed that God lives in our heart, and those who are grateful, a grateful heart attracts everyone, and God blesses all people. And gratitude, you get double blessing. So in the Ram Charitra Manas, Sri Ram is forever expressing his gratitude to whoever does even the least for him. He is grateful for his parents, gurus, brothers, companions, and those who serve them. Throughout through his blessings, he conveyed his gratitude even to those who cared to remember or think of him. He looked with a positive attitude even those who may have hurt him, but were repentant. So Sumentra, the minister, was addressing Sri Ram, coming with a message to say that the king of Ayodhya had asked me to take you on the chariot to the jungle and show around. Afterwards, to bring you back instantly, uh, both after they dipped themselves in the holy water in Ganga. And he said, his order to me is to bring you, Lakshman and Sita, back to Ayodhya. With these words, Suman fell down at the feet of Sri Ram and began to cry like an innocent child. Suman too was now aware that Sri Ram's will is what should and will prevail. Hence, he could not have the courage to tell Sri Ram anything that might challenge him. Sumant by now also had that inkling that Sri Ram's divinity by seeing his behavior and resolve of the Sri Ram. And therefore, he acted more like a child and not as a senior to Sri Ram. Sri Ram then lifted the minister and gave him some advice. Uh, and he's saying that he is aware of the stories of King Harishchandra, Rishi Dadichi, and even the demon King Bali, who were very knowledgeable themselves and did suffer immensely for the sake of Dharma and in the process of upholding Dharma. So Sri Ram then said that I am lucky to have an occasion just by the way to observe Dharma in the same way as those great people. So if the responsibility is ignored in any way, it will bring on all round condemnation and bad name, and the loss of prestige and reputation. Uh, it will be like disgraced by failing to uphold this dharma. So he's pleading to Sumantra uh, to give his father pranams and not to have any kind of worries about him. Sri Ram meant to tell Sumant that because the sin of not observing the dharma by ignoring truth can only be washed off over many lives. And this kind of negative reputation is hard to correct as it results from a sin that is a natural outcome of a body-centric living and vasanas. And this type of approach clouds one's judgment. And because of the unfulfilled desires for sense gratification, make one have to have rebirths in animal forms. So, rising above all this, one should uphold dharma. Then Sri Rama further told Suman to do whatever will keep my father happy and ensure that he does not regret my going away. Sumitra then began to deliver the rest of King Dasrat's message, and he's saying that Sita would not be able to bear the hardship of the forest, and to do he said, the king said, to do everything possible in line of propriety to see that Sita at least returns back to Ayodhya. Otherwise, the king has warned, without any support left for him, it will not be possible for him to live on. So the minister Sumantra pleaded now to Sri Ram, saying that O Tat, which is younger, someone that's younger, and lovingly addressed, and elders are respectfully addressed. Here also, ministry has both in mind while addressing uh, Sri Ram, to pleaded to be merciful and do something by which the region of Awadh is not orphaned. It is not left without a master. And here Sumant is displaying this concern that King Dasrat was now old. Bharat may not accept taking charge of the kingdom, and also that the people of Ayodhya may not live peacefully under anyone else's regime. Um, we see now that Sri Ram uh, Sumintra advised further that the king has told that her father's place as well at the in-laws, there is every kind of comfort. Sita can live at either of the two places where she pleases. Uh, so that was the message from Sumintra, and he continued pleading to Sri Ram that the king made this appeal, and he was very desperate and overwhelmed with emotion and love, and it was difficult even to explain to Sri Ram the feeling. But then Sri Ram explained to Sita in many ways why it is necessary, for Sita to return as well. Um, uh, um, and Sita considered the words of Sri Ram and replied uh, that you that your love you love me most and are most dear to me. You are my Lord. Besides being very compassionate and most wise, therefore please appreciate that the shadow can't remain existing without the substance. And further comparison, she's saying the glow of the sun can't leave it. That is, it cannot be there if the sun is not there. Hence, it is inseparable. So Sita gave this logical explanation to Sri Ram, but it contains some spiritual fact because the Maya is never separated from the Supreme Lord as well. So addressing uh, Sita then spoke to Sumintra. Uh, she said that you are as much my benefactor as my father, and it is only bad if I come forward contradicting you in my reply. But it is the misery of the time that makes me tell you something directly. He also used the word otat. You may please not take it to be my deviation from the tradition, and mind what has to say. That time, ladies, members of the household, do not speak directly to the male elders of the in-laws family, in the Indian tradition. So she's saying, without being near the lotus feet of my Lord, who is the son of a great man and of high lineage, all kind of relation with others are totally without any importance for me and difficult to maintain. Sita also told to Sumantra that even such a comfortable place of the father is never liked by me in the absence of my dearest Lord Sri Ram. That is, since marriage, she has had no interest to ever go to her father's place without Sri Ram, although she spent her childhood there. And even, she says, even the place of such a father-in-law where uh, reside all the families of dear ones, and where I have good fortune of having mother-in-law as good as me as my mother, does not attract me without the dust of lotus feet of Sri Ram spread there. Even in dream, I don't long for it. And she's saying, I'm happy in the forest in a natural way and with whole acceptance by heart, she's saying. So what Sita said is also the state, of devotees of Sri Ram. They accept any kind of difficulty if they can remain just in the thought of Sri Ram. And any kind of comforts and luxuries do not affect them at all. And for them, the separation and being forced to think of anything else rather than remembering him is like death to them. So Sita further said to Sumantra that my lord, which is Sri Ram and his younger brother, are with me. They are brave and keep bow and quiver all the while with them. Hence, security is not an issue. When Sumintra noted Sita's manner of speaking, uh, and in that it was a difficult situation, she did not complain or blame any person, and this made him a little bit upset. But Sri Ram consoled him and tried to make him see some reason. Sumintra then thought that it is not possible to contradict Sri Ram. Uh, for Sumintra, Sri Ram, Lakshman, and Sita had become most important asset after he realized the truth about them as well, and he had now had to be forced to return to Ayodhya, being still a citizen, householder, and one who remains responsible for affairs of the state. This is how all of us feel when we discover God in natural surroundings, and we still have not discovered, disowned what we left back. We return to that world. It seems a contradiction to us, where we lose our peace. Now, Sri Ram further prevailed to Sumitra, to pleaded him to leave Ayodhya, and then since now the river Ganges was to be crossed for going to the jungle, Sri Ram called now Kevat, which is the boatman, to bring his boat. Then Kevat refused to bring his boat and replied to Sri Ram, "I know who you are. You really are." And he's saying that we all know that the rock was converted into a perfect lady, and it is common knowledge and not my imagination. Kevat is referring to Ahilya's, the salvation while when Ram was on the way to Janakpur with Muni Vishwamitra. Kevat is saying, my boat is made up of wood, hence my boat also would convert into to the consort of a Muni like Ahilya, and in this way it's difficult, his boat may disappear. That's what he had, that fear. But then he said, however, if my lord needs to be ferried across the river, then there is one way out. I must have your consent to wash your feet before taking you on board my boat, so that the dust is washed off and the risk is eliminated. Kevat is said to be a seeker and a devotee in his earlier life, but had missed to serve the Lord to his satisfaction. And he lived on, only waiting to have the opportunity as an ordinary boatman on the banks of the river Ganga. But he had deep spiritual knowledge, and he could recognize the Lord when he appeared before him. And he recognized that he is the son of Dasra. And by taking him across the river, only after serving him to his own satisfaction, he meant to oblige to Sri Ram to make himself also cross over the ocean of life and death. So he was intensely in love with Sri Ram, and hence he poured his heart out before him, unmindful of apparent absurdity of his arguments, but which also had rich philosophy behind them. So Sri Ram spoke to Kevat. Uh, he said, "You must rush to get water to wash my feet because it is getting late for me, and you may then take us quickly across the river." So at first, the divine river Ganges became, the Ganges river also became upset listening to Sri Ram, but later uh, became happy to look at the nail of the toe of Sri Ram, remembering that she had herself come out of the nail of the toe of the Lord, that is, had been born out of it. Um, naturally way of coming across. So the Lord meant was that he had taken an avatar in human form and would act only as a human without demonstration of divine powers, but keeping the side of dharma at all the times. Because Ganga said he has all the powers, why he's talking that way. So she realized the reason why he has taken the avatar. And acting now in the accordance with the consent of Sri Ram, Kevat rushed and fetched a wooden pot filled with water and went about washing the feet of Sri Ram with all that affection and enthusiasm as well. And that's washing the feet of Sri Ram and then drinking the washed water. It's called Charan Amrit. That is, it becomes a nectar after touching the feet of the Lord. Uh, so by drinking the water and washing the drinking the water that washed the feet of Ram, it's letting his family also to have it, because the Kevat took the Lord, Sita, and Lakshman across the river, but he had by this service he obliged Sri Ram to deliver his own ancestors out of that bondage, across that ocean of samsara. So even the descendants in the family became so progressed in spiritual life uh, because of the account of the teachings of the forefathers, because the account of the teaching of the forefathers, their traditions established by them. Hence, they deserve to get liberation themselves. So, because of our forefathers, we inherit their karma and whatever good they've done as well, and we can get rid of their sins as well by drinking the Charan Amrit. And then reaching the other side, Kevat came down and laid prostrate before Sri Ram. And Sri Ram felt awkward at this, being unable to give him something. But Sita, however, took out that money studded ring, uh, and she also could make out whatever happened to is happening here to go on the mind of Sri Ram. Whatever what Tulsi is saying, a truly devoted wife develops his capacity. Yeah, we should know that Sita, as a Maya, always does what her Lord wishes without an express of communication. So even without communication, she understands what Sri Ram wants, and this is how the relationship of the two is to be understood. Uh, so the uh, so they offered that ring to Kevin, and he wanted him to accept it for compensation for what he had done. But Kevat said, I do not want anything more because I don't miss or lack anything now. It is all due to Sri Ram's grace, and he had actually, it's like Parsad as well, that Sri Ram has come in front of him. So Sri Ram, Sita, and Lakshman tried in many ways that Kevat accepts the offered drink, but Kevat declined to take it. And lastly, Sri Ram bid him goodbye and sent him off by after granting him a boon of having unwavering and pure kind of bhakti, since it was what Kevat craved for. Kevat also demonstrated that as a good citizen, one should not have any kind of greed while his services are required by the needy. In Indian culture, ornaments of a lady are never thought to be bartered for anything, even by unrelated strangers. So that's the teaching we get from this incident. Uh, so Sri Ram then took the holy bath in the Ganges river. In India, no one likes to miss out on this opportunity to bathe in the Ganges. This is considered to be purifying one of all sins. Sri Ram did the same through Ganga. It's supposed to be flowing out of his own toe as well. And Rama Avatar, the Lord never ever neglected this tradition and still established the practice. Uh, Also, Sri Ram also made a linga, representing Lord Shiva of the from the sand, and worshipped it devotionally. Uh, and he bowed down before it. Sita then prayed also to Mother Ganga, and they wished to. What Sita is saying, that I wish to come back safely along with my master and my Devar, which is Devar is the younger brother. So they praying to Ganga, and uh, then Ganga said, I would, however, bless you with what you asked for, only to see my own power of speech becoming fruitful. In this way, people's faith in me will enhance, and the purpose for which I have been made to descend by God will be largely served. So Ganges did this to let the hierarchical status remain established, as Sita and Ram rank supreme, whatever ever they be in any lila, whatever avatars they are supreme as well. Then we see that in the Lord of Raghus, now Sri Ram, remembered Ganesha as well, and who's the remover of obstacles, and Shiva, who is the Lord of Faith, and they bowed down before the divine Ganges River uh, and commenced the journey ahead with Sita, Lakshman, and Guha. So we see that only those who have that natural and non-artificial love towards the Lord, because now we see Guha is joining them. Uh, because he has a natural love for Sri Ram as well, and because of that, their love towards the Lord are worthy of keeping his company. Any kind of falsehood or pretension is despised by the Lord. They never can accompany him, nor will be allowed to by him, that they will remain distant from him. So the ritualistic worship without the natural love for the Lord is futile. And then when it was morning, uh, we find had days were going by, and Lakshman and Guha, they were talking. Sri Ram observed the morning routine at that place, at the Tirath at the Prayag. Uh, Goswami Tulsidas beautifully explains this picture of the Tirath place, holy place, Prayag, which takes care of all the needs of the seekers devotees and protects them from the even enemies and sins. This place offers food. It, People come here to engage in dialogues, spiritual discussions, and there is enlightenment here. And you can, the place where the truth is found. And this is also where there is a confluence between the Yamuna River and the Ganges River. So this is a very good place for going Tira. And Sri Ram explained the glories of the to Sita and Lakshman Gua of going to these holy places and even the status of holy people as well. Uh, so afterwards, Sri Ram went to the ashram of Muni Bharadwaj and prostrated before him as well. Um, uh, he is a superior Muni as well. Muni Bharadwaj gave his blessing to Sri Ram, feeling very exalted and transcendental in his own heart as well, for his good fortune to meet this avatar. Sri Ram, as avatar, is known to go to seeker of saints himself, who have done great tapas and engage in serving the society without selfish motives, rather than letting them to wander in search of him. Sri Ram went to the saints himself. So it is more important to serve the Lord where we are and live a righteous life rather than wandering looking for the Lord. When the time comes, he promptly gets manifested for the benefit of the sadhus and the devotees as well. So uh, the Muni spoke to Sri Ram, and um, and he's saying that having the sight of you, O Ram, all the means adopted by me, like absorbing sacred duties, seem to be giving results. And this is the ultimate benefit he had received, ultimate joy and satisfaction. And the purpose of that meditation and this tirat and me, and it was meant to be having a glimpse of the Lord as well. And the Muni further said that your servant, that being a servant in words, thoughts, and deeds, and shedding all this manipulative stance and with no relaxation or peace, no relaxation or peace is possible. So when one engages in this ritualistic activities and practices, one has to do it with in thought, word, and deed. Uh, and that is makes one God to come to you instead of you looking around for God as well. So Sri Ram appreciated all the devotees and the sacred tirats and all those who lived righteously, did tapas, and and those who uh, expressing their love like the munis as well. Then Sri Ram then told all those who present the achievements of the Muni Bharadwaj as well. And Muni knew who was to be honored and worshipped. He had known the truth about God, and Sri Ram bowed down before each other. The sadhus and the God should be treated with equal respect by us. That's the message we get. Both of them bow down to each other. So when people learning of the Sri Ram coming to the areas, the inhabitants of Prayag, they they all rushed to the ashram of Muni Bharadwaj as well to personally see Sri Ram. They all knew that the son of Dasrath is there, and Sri Ram reverently bowed down to before them as well. They were so overwhelmed. They all were so happy and remained, they all like were still stunned as it is, unaware of what's happening around them. So once again, we see Ram paid homage to Muni and asked him to leave as well. And Sri Ram passed through many villages thereafter, because the word spread as well wherever Ram is going, and everyone wants to get his darshan. As the word about beauty, about they want to see his beauty and attraction as well. So some of the intelligent people, the elderly people, could make out this is Sri Ram by just seeing the logic of. They knew that this is the prince of Ayodhya in front of them. They also understood, the definition of God, and it is not possible uh, enough to realize God, but they had the capacity to recognize Him. Uh, and then the people they related the story about the visitors, and they learned about the Dasrat's demands to Sri Ram, and they felt sorry for Sri Ram that he had to go on Banabas as well. Uh, so now they were moving on, and along the banks of the Yamuna, uh, it was attracting many people there as well, due to the tapas. Along the Yamuna, people go there too as for tapas as well, and people spend long time there just to get darshan, and to extend their spirituality along those rivers. Uh, the hermits then kept drinking that water there, uh, and then they're getting Rupa darshan as well, because Rupa darshan is getting the beautiful sight of the form of Sri Ram, and Sri Ram making everyone there happy as well. Uh, and then people started discussing what type of parents um that would send their children to the forest. They were getting sad everywhere. He's getting villages. They're hearing the message, the story behind his going to the forest. So Sri Ram meant to convey that while in the world and living an ordinary life, one should not shed or forget the duties required in the role of being played, even when it requires to get separated from the physically serving the Lord. So the God still to be remembered and be kept in company with thoughts. So until the time one relinquishes his worldly attachment and relations and becomes like a sannyasi, it is not expected of him to neglect the duties also connected with the world. So you can't uh, neglect your duties. That's the message that uh, Sri Ram is conveying, and they made the pranams to the river Jamuna, and they came across many passerbys as well, who wants to get darshan, and they felt that the people felt that the science of astrology was not right, and it was proving the wrong in every case, because they used to offer their help, saying that the path they were treading was leading to dense forests, Sri Ram and them, and hilly terrain. What kind of uh, tarpan what kind of life that they have to endure. This is how they interacted mostly with the people, and people were saddened. There were tears in the eyes, and Sri Ram used to speak back to them politely in softer voice and words, convincing them that it was not required, and they should go about their business and follow their own path. So the Lord's values, the love of people, the inclination of the people to engage in His service. God never wants people to neglect or deviate from attending their own duties and responsibilities at hand. Uh, so there was the other class of people who have fulfilled the roles and duties expected of them in line with their family, place, and the status. Um, but that temperament and that dispassion and has to go as well. That disinterest in the mundane world. So that what we're saying, that words, thought, word, and deed must work together as well. So Sri Ram then started moving forward in that journey through another capital as well. Uh, they went to capitals Amravati. Uh, that they also could not stand this comparison, what we're talking about, and the inhabitants there in the Amravati, they were praised as well for being rich collectors of past good deeds. So because of their goods, they getting the darshan of Sri Ram as well. And so wherever he's going, people are getting his darshan. And then we see people are still cheering as well wherever he's going, getting the darshan, but they were saddened to see that the reasons why they going through the forest. And and but they Sri Ram and then also permitted them to follow that etiquette uh, while going forward. People were speechless there. Uh, they used to wait for them under the shady tree. They knew that Sri Ram is coming by. When you know someone great is coming, you wait under a tree or wherever he's going to pass for days, and waiting for getting darshan, and even uh, for overnight till waiting the next day for Sri Ram to come through past that village. So the villagers, being simple and pure heart, were competent to recognize the Lord when they saw him, and their responses matched according to their individuality. Some of them acted like karma yogis, some like jnana yogis, and some others like bhakti yogis. So all of them had that kind of quality in them. And some of the villages also, and they defined that there is need for water for Sri Ram. They brought water as well for them, waiting for them in that wherever they were. So and that charm that Sri Ram and Lakshman was beyond description. And Tulsi mentioned that his own intellect was not capable enough to appreciate it. Sri Ram as Gyan, which is the total knowledge, and Lakshman as Vairagya, which is dispassion. When both are together, they make the beholder as perfect. And this passion is supported by knowledge, and knowledge gained in a state of dispassion support each other and stay permanently with the devotees. So we see that Sri Ram, Lakshman, uh, you have to have in the heart, mind, and intellect. People used to touch the feet of Sita as well, again and again, uh, displaying that respect as well for her as well. Uh, so we're seeing that uh, in these chopais that when Sri Ram is the undisputed master of the universe, and he uses his gratitude freely to motivate and show the path of righteousness to everyone. And can we not do the same thing to spread the message to everyone as well? And especially now that we got the murtis, we got this happening in Ayodhya. We should also awaken Ram in our hearts. There is this resurgence now we find in the world in the Hinduism. So we should also awaken this in our hearts and follow this path as well of righteousness. Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Sing from page 69 of the Ramakrishna Prayer Book. Om Ram Hari Ram Ram Hari Ram Ayodhya Vasi Ram दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम 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 अयोध्या वासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम 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 अगलय सांब विमोचन राम परशुराम ने जय तव राम तंते सोल्मिक मंदिर मिले ताय सोले तत्व राम तंदे सोल्मिक मंदिर मिले ताय सोले तत्व राम अयोध्या वासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम 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 लंगय कुगणै कंडवराम कबड मारिसने வென்றவராம் கண்டராவனின் தங்கை சூர்பனகை அங்கத்தை பங்கம் சேர்த்தவராம் கண்டராவனின் தங்கை சூர்பனகை அங்கத்தை பங்கம் சேர்த்தவராம் अयोध्यवासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम राम रामा கிஷ்கிந்தாபுரி சென்றவராம் வாலிபூரல் வென்றவராம் ஹனுமான் துணையில் லங்கையில் சென்று இராவனின் பரியை வென்றவராம் ஹனுமான் துணையில் லங்கையில் சென்று இராவனின் பரியை வென்றவராம் சீதைய மீட்டி அயோத்திய வந்து மங்களமாய் தினம் வாழ்ந்தவராம் சீதைய மீட்டி அயோத்திய வந்து மங்களமாய் தினம் வாழ்ந்தவராம் அயோத்தியவாசி ராம் दशरथ नंदन राम जानकी जीवन राम जय राम राम रामा जय राम राम रामा जय राम राम रामा जय राम राम रामा जय श्री राम.
Jai Shri Ram. Thank you very much, Kamal Bhai, for the beautiful explanation, so much in detail, and we can imagine Shri Ramji in the forest. And although we know that he is everywhere, if he's in the forest doesn't mean he's not in Ayodhya. He's also in Ayodhya as well. He's everywhere. He's omnipresent. And that is how we should feel in our hearts. We may not be able to physically see the Lord, but we know that He is there all the time. And that is the beautiful feeling that is expressed here. And I'd like to thank Kamal Bhai for giving the explanation for today. Really enjoyed listening to him. The explanation. And also a big thank you to Havesan for singing that beautiful bhajan. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Jai Shri Ram. The inauguration of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya today is an event of great significance to all Hindus throughout the world. This temple has brought together Hindus like never before. The temple was constructed with the combined effort of Hindus all over India and many countries abroad. Contributions were made by way of materials, soil, water, precious objects like gold, diamonds even, and more than that, skilled artisans from throughout India participated in the construction of this temple. This temple means the restoration of the dignity, integrity, and the deep culture and human values that Sri Ram represented. This inauguration of this temple is the commencement of a new era in the Hindu community. Just as Sri Ram's return from the forest after 14 years of exile meant the establishment of Ram Rajya in the Treta Yuga, which lasted more than 10,000 years. It is hoped and we pray that the inauguration of this new temple, after 500 years of struggle on the part of the Hindus, means the new era of love, peace, and prosperity for all Hindus throughout the world. It is said in the Ramayana that when Ram established his rule in Ayodhya after his return from banishment, all disharmony was obliterated. And we know that in recent decades, Hindu society was greatly divided on lines of religion, language, and sampradaya, different schools of thought and belief amongst the Hindus. But now, with this inauguration, we saw all schools of thought, saints and sages from all regions of India, they came together to become one in the name of Ram. We too should also unite, all of us, no matter what our beliefs are, no matter which school of thought we belong to. We should all come together in this one love, great love for God. The Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, mentioned in his talk today that the temple has been built. Wow, now what? Of course, we all have a grand celebration. Now what? We should also bring in Ram Rajya. Within ourselves, we should bring about a new dedication, a new orientation to our lives. Let us rededicate ourselves to those great values, to the principles for which Ram stood. And let us try to bring about more progress in our spiritual life through this inauguration of this Ram temple. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Thank you very much, Pitaji. Really inspiring. May Shri Ram bless all of us. I'd like to thank all of you for joining in today's satsang. Really been really beautiful. And may this brilliance of this day shine in our hearts and our love and devotion to the Lord grow. Jai Shri Ram. I will recite the Rudrashtakam. Thereafter, I will ask Chimanbhai to please do the conclusion for today. Om नमामीशमीशाननिर्वाणरूपं विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेदस्वरूपं निजं निर्गुणं निर्विकल्पं निरीहं चिदाकाशमाकाशवासं भजेऽहं निराकारमोङ्कारमूलं तुरीयं गिराज्ञानगोतीतमीशं गिरीशं करालं महाकालकालं कृपालं गुणागारसंसारपारं नतोऽहम् तुषाराद्रिसङ्काशगौरं गभीरं मनोभूतकोटिप्रभाषी शरीरं सुरन्मौलिकल्लोलिनी चारुगङ्गा लसत्फालबालेन्दुकण्ठे भुजङ्गा चलत्कुण्डलं भ्रूसुनेत्रं विशालं प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालं मृगाधीशचर्माम्बरं मुण्डमालं प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि प्रचण्डं प्रकृष्टं प्रगल्भं परेशम् अखण्डम् अजं भानुकोटिप्रकाशं त्रयः शूलनिर्मूलनं शूलपाणिं भजेऽहं भवानीपतिं भावगम्यं कलातीतकल्याणकल्पान्तकारी सदा सज्जनानन्ददाता पुरारी चिदानन्दसन्दोहमोहापहारी प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रभो मन्मथारी न यावत् उमानाथपादारविन्दं भजन्तीह लोके परे वानराणां न तावत् सुखं शान्तिसन्तापनाशं प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूताधिवासं न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां न तोऽहं सदा सर्वदा शम्भुतुभ्यं जराजन्मदुःखौघतातप्यमानं प्रभो पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो रुद्राष्टकमिदं प्रोक्तम् विप्रेण हरतोषये ये पठन्ति नरा भक्त्या तेषां शम्भुः प्रसीदति ॐ नमः शिवाय।
ॐ श्रीराम जय जय राम। 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 आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की। गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद, वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद। सुख सनकादि शेष अरु शारद, बरनि पवन सुत कीरति की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की। गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश, चाओ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस। मुनि जन धन संतन को सरबस, सार अंश सम्मत सब ही की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की। गावत संतत शंभु भवानी, अरुघट संभव मुनि विज्ञानी। व्यास आदि कवि बरज बखानी, कागभूषुंडी गरुड़ के ही की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की। कलिमल हरन विषय रस पी की, सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की। दलन रोग भव मूरी अमी की, तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की। ओम सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सत्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। एक बार बोलो श्री गणपति गजानंद की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय, श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्री राम लाला भगवान की जय, श्री सीता रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, आद्य शक्ति अम्बे मात की जय, आद्य शक्ति सरस्वती मात की जय, शिव शंकर भोले नाथ की जय, सद्गुरु देव की जय, श्री रामायण माता की जय, श्री गीता माता की जय, श्री गंगा मैया की जय, यमुना मैया की जय, अखंड आनंद की जय। ओम नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव हर। जय श्री राम।
जय
जय
श्री
श्री
राम।
राम।
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri
Jai Shri
Ram.
Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
जय श्री राम।
Jai Shri Ram. Thank you, everyone.